Yeah. So the government has its own interest. Anybody who want to be a government leader has their own interest. And for you in Africa and in my country, Kenya, for you to be a leader, you have to learn to lie. So number one thing, to be a good politician, kama wewe unataka kuwa student leader, you want to be a student leader, be a good liar. Be able to lie to people really good. How do you lie to the people? Very simple. You give them what you call yeah, so be a promise giver. You need to be very good in promising people. Yeah. For you to promise people, there's something you must understand. There are problems. Understand what you call their problems. Understand their problems. Yeah. For example, what is the problem ya Wakenya? Things they want to hear. Number one, gharama ya nini? Gharama ya maisha. Yeah. If I stand before you na nikwambie gharama ya maisha imepanda sana, na mimi nataka kuhakikisha nikiingia kwa serikali ninapunguza gharama ya maisha, watu watapiga makofi. Hata hawajui gharama, yani hawataki kujua ni gharama gani haswa, lakini as long as useme gharama ya maisha imeenda juu sana. This is a statement Raila Amolo Odinga ametumia since 1982. Gharama ya maisha. And number two, kitu watu wanataka kusikia, make sure you are mentioning something to do with education. In education, be smart enough to tell the parents and the students that I'm going, if you give me a chance to be the president or to be a leader of this region or of this country, I'm going to make sure education is free. Do you know why education must be free or is supposed to be free? Because the leaders who are in power currently are corrupt, are misusing the public resources. So make sure you promise people education. Actually, this education has to be what? Make sure you mention the word free education. Very happy. Yeah. That is when you want to really win the minds of the citizens of the Republic of Kenya. I want you to mention something really sweet. Something that is really sweet for women, because in Kenya, actually in the world, the population of women is growing rapidly. You have to mention something to do with maternity. Maternity, is it? I don't know. Something to do with that. Is it maternity? Is it good? I don't know. Yeah. Make sure nawambia, mukienda kujifungua, free service. Actually, ukishika mimba, you are supposed to be paid 2,000 because that is achievement. Now, as the new president, if you give me a mandate to be the president, this is what I'm going to do. Anybody who gives birth to a boy child, I'm going to give them 200,000. Because currently we have deficit of men in this country, so we need more men. And therefore, I'm going to give anybody, any woman who is going to give birth to a man, 200,000. Not free money. It must be free, something that is free. Now, another thing you must mention is that we are going to empower farmers. Farmers. We are going to give free fertilizer. I mentioned something that is more free. I'm going to actually, if not free, then I'm going to make sure I reduce the price of fertilizer to about 1,500. So this will increase the productivity, because if the input is cheap, therefore the output is good. You know, you're going to eat good. Yeah. Therefore, I'm going to make sure farmers receive free fertilizers, or at least affordable fertilizers. And on top of this farming, I'm going to come up with a new farming system that is going to enhance high yield at the end of the day. You see, one of the most important things you are not supposed to forget, there's something you need not to forget. Either you want to be a student leader, if you want to be a president of the Republic of Kenya, but now in this case, let me talk about the president. If you want to be the leader of this nation, something you must not forget in the bottom line, something to do with employment. Stop forgetting about this. Employment. Actually, let me tell you, the citizens of the Republic of Kenya. In Kenya, we have plenty jobs which have been closed by the rogue leaders who are in power currently. So if you give me power, if you give me a mandate to be the president, to be a governor, to be a leader of this nation, number one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to sack the unqualified workers and the ghost workers in the government. That's what I'm going to do. And therefore, if we do that, we will have vacancies for the university graduates, qualified individuals. And therefore, there will be plenty of jobs in this country. Moreover, I'm going to ensure I have a substantial connection of the Kenyan people and Kenyan graduates to other countries like Qatar, Lebanon, China, Australia, US, to make sure that they have a connection to work from our countries. Therefore, I'm going to make sure employment problem is completely solved. Never forget this point. Employment. These are some of the things that people want to hear. Remember one thing. There's something we started with. Lie. So all these are just but what? Lies. So when I get to power, this is when I'm not in power, when I am selling my manifesto. Now when I get to power, this is what I do. My intention. Now my intention. What is my intention? To be rich. This, I want money. I want to control resources. I want power. You understand? I want power. Do you know what is power? No other politician, no other person who is going to come close to me. I'm going to be rare. You understand? I'm going to be rare. Yeah, I actually want to travel. You understand? You know, travel. I want to travel. I want to enjoy the world. I want to enjoy the resources. I want to enjoy the opportunity. You get the point? Yeah. This is when I was campaigning. And now the reality is, and now I have what you call my agendas. My agendas. Mimi nataka kuhakikisha kwamba barabara inatoka Kitengela mpaka Nairobi imepanuliwa kwa sehemu kubwa ku accommodate jam, kwa sababu gari nyingi zinaenda Mombasa zinapitia hiyo njia ya Kitengela. Nataka kuhakikisha Mahimayu, hiyo mlima imekuwa refu na it is very dangerous kwa wananchi na wasafiri wanaotumia hiyo barabara. Nitahakikisha nimetenga bilioni 50 ya kuchimba hiyo mlima ndani kidogo, ili barabara iweze kusonga ndani kidogo na watu wakuwe safe wanapotumia hiyo barabara. Unaelewa? I want to promise the farmers that in the next 2 years tutakuwa tumeleta corporations ambazo zitakuja kucontrol na kuempower wakulima wetu na kuhakikisha kwamba we are using the right seeds to enhance the high productivity. Watu wa msitu wa Mau, now I want to promise you that in the next 3 years we are going to plant more than 35 billion trees in this country to attract the rains. Mnasikia? Now those are what we call what? Agendas. Nataka pia kuhakikisha wamama wanapoenda hospitali wanaenda tu na kitabu na bwana yake, wanajiandikisha and there will be free services. Na ukienda usi hakuna hata madawa. That's it. Hakuna madawa, hakuna service. Yeah, that is it. No, those are agendas. You know, he started by what? Lying. And therefore you don't expect these agendas to be fulfilled. Now anaanza campaign ya mwaka mwingine mapema. Ambitions is all ambitions, connections for investments. Leo hii ninawaambia wananchi nataka kuenda China. I want to have a mutual connection with Chinese so that we can enhance the roads in Kenya and even the buildings in Kenya to look modern. And therefore anaenda in China anachukua 55 billion, anachukua 50 billion, anapeana in the public service, anapeana 5 billion. Hazitoshi. That is the game. You complain but anasema I gave the money. We took the loan and the Chinese are working, lakini barabara zimekwama. Yeah. These people have their own. They want to make a connection to India. Unakumbuka siku nyingine Ruto alienda India. Tukasema hii jamaa anatengeneza connection. Si Adani ndio yeye amekuja kuchukua JKIA. Everything akienda huko kuna benefit. Anaambiwa you want to invest in our area? Yes. Therefore, we also want to invest in your area. And we have our tycoon who is ready to come and invest in your area. And that is it. His own ambitions. Unaelewa? So, my advice to my fellow Kenyans. Anything that starts with lies does not end with the truth. It ends in tears. I want to tell you this. You have a choice to be conscious on what promises the leaders or the aspiring leaders gives you. Anybody wants to be a leader. I also want to be a leader. But you need to be careful about what these leaders tell you. Remember, just like what the drama that is put in the Bible. You know, the Bible has a good drama that we will never end Satan in the Bible. If we end Satan, then there's no God. If we end Jesus, there's no Satan. So it has to be there. You know, we have to pray for you. You know, we have to continue this drama. This is the same scenario that is in the government. For you to be kept hypnotized, they have to create a problem. They have to tell you gharama ya maisha so that it is in your mind. Now you are traumatized because gharama ya maisha imepanda. But you have no clue what is inflation and what causes inflation. Sindio? Now you become a dupe and they become the trickster. And you keep on kulamba matako ya wanaisiasa. Because you don't know what is going. They create a problem which is endless. Every time any politician come anakuja kusolve the problem, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta tried to solve gharama ya maisha. All along, gharama ya maisha. And we have not been able to ask yourself, what is the meaning of gharama ya maisha? Why do we have lack of employment? Why do we have people abducted and killed? Why do we have all these promises? And how can we avoid these things from occurring in the next time? We don't ask yourself. So we just drive ourselves blindly and waiting for some miracles to happen from somewhere in the virtual world. You see? So consciousness is when you get to be autonomous and understand, when we say autonomous is when you're the boss. You know, when you're the boss, you understand what happens around you and within yourself. That's the true meaning of autonomous. So once you become autonomous, this is what you understand. What the politicians are promising you, they're creating a problem. Remember, there's this thing, this drama that happens. This is how it happens. Now the politicians sit down and say, who is going to be the next president? And they look at it and say, it is tricky because now wananchi wametugundua. What can we do? Now they play a game. Wewe and ukue opposition. Wewe kuja ni fight. Then talk bad against me. You go and speak this way. Why are they doing that? To hear the opinions of you. And because you are a dupe, you spill out your truth, and they understand. They attack you with the truth you understand. So when you talk about lack of employment, what do you mean, lack of employment? Now let's look at the systems of education. What does education tell you? That you have to look for a job. Who creates a job for you? The government, CDO. And how does a government create a job for you? By creating industries and companies to employ you. Now, as a student who is graduating from a university is not able, out of this education, that you're not able to ask yourself, how many industries did we build this year? How many companies did we build this year? Did you hear any company build this year? No. So probably every single year we have students graduating. Sindio? If every year students are graduating, now let's take an example. We have managers graduating, procurement students graduating every single year. Now look at the employment system. If the managers have a manager has been employed akiwa miaka tuseme 30, sindio? He has to retire akiwa 60, and every single year we have thousands of students, managers graduating from universities. How many companies will accommodate these people? No. So you have to understand as a student that education is putting you into a sleep. It is a system. If you want to understand employment, then understand the system of employment first. Then now understand what you're learning and be able to translate what you're learning into something substantial that can help you push your life ahead. If education does not teach you cooperation, then it is a stupid education. It is actually an incredible education. You see, now you have to be autonomous and be able to understand that politicians are liars, and they use these lies to put you to sleep for their continued benefit. You have a choice as a citizen of Kenya to choose whether you're going to be autonomous, to cooperate with other people, to share ideas, to grow ideas, to create a job for yourself and for your generation. If you are not ready, wait for me. I'm gonna lie to you really good. I'm smart in lying. Thank you so much, guys.